Welcome to today's episode of Heard and Seen Around. I am Rajesh Karipurath. This is my take on macroeconomic and geoeconomic data points, which I find interesting. I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoyed curating it. Cheers.
Never ask an analyst where a stock is going. If they knew, they wouldn't be writing reports for a living. In the stock market, the consensus of experts is usually a lagging indicator of disaster. Wall Street is the only place that people ride in a Rolls-Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. The problem with financial models is that they assume humans act rationally, which is the first sign of irrationality. If the facts don't fit the consultant's matrix, the facts must be discarded.
Here's a statistic few saw. Tether now holds 146 tons of gold, worth $18.8 billion, making it the largest known private gold holder outside banks and government. The issuer of the world's biggest stablecoin added 14 tons last quarter alone, even as gold prices softened. It's an intriguing shift. Company born in the digital asset world, quietly accumulating one of history's oldest stores of value. Perhaps the future of finance isn't choosing between crypto and gold, owning both. The IPL is now worth $20.6 billion, making it the world's second most valuable sports league behind the NFL. What's even more remarkable, Royal Challengers Bangalore tops the franchise rankings with a $312 million brand value, proof that in sport, loyal fans can be just as valuable as trophies. The IPL has evolved far beyond cricket. It's now a global entertainment, media and commercial powerhouse, attracting billions of viewers, sponsors and investors. Not bad for a tournament that's barely 2 decades old. If data is the new oil, then electricity is the new currency. In 2025, China generated 10,570 terawatts of electricity, more than the US, the EU and India combined. That's not just keeping the lights on, powering factories, electric vehicles, data centers and an AI boom at a scale few can match. While many focus on chips and software, this chart is a reminder that none of it works without electrons. The global economy, power generation is becoming a competitive advantage in every sense of the word. India's telecom battle is turning into a game of quality versus quantity. Jio still leads with a massive 503.5 million subscribers, but Airtel stole the spotlight in June, adding 2.99 million new users compared with Jio's 2.15 million. That's a sign customers are still willing to switch for better networks and service. Meanwhile, India's total mobile consumer base has climbed to 1.348 billion. In telecom, the race isn't just about having the biggest crowd, it's about convincing the next customer to join yours. India's toy industry is no longer child's play. Since 2017-18, exports of electronic and non-electronic toys have jumped 160%. Video game consoles nearly 200% and festive and entertainment products almost 130%. Even more impressive, the sector has flipped from a $230 million trade deficit to a $152 million trade surplus. That's a remarkable turnaround, driven by local manufacturing policy support and global companies looking beyond traditional supply chains. Sometimes the biggest export success stories come in surprisingly small packages. US corporate profits have climbed to a record 14% of GDP, while corporate tax revenue has steadily shrunk as a share of the economy. It's a dream combination for shareholders. But history suggests these levels rarely last forever. Eventually, higher wages, tougher competition, or higher taxes tend to reclaim part of these profits. The real question for investors isn't whether the profits are strong today, whether markets are assuming they will stay this strong indefinitely. That's a much tougher bet.